Hello everyone and welcome back to the Little Quilter. Today we are going to be working on the last block of the Pas de Deux quilt. This is just crazy. So this is month 6 and the block that we're going to be working on is this hourglass block right here, and that is the design right there. It's a beautiful design and it actually ends up going in a couple spots on the actual Pas de Deux quilt. So the recommendations are the color of burgundy and orange, and the colors that I am choosing are a little bit in those ranges. So I've pulled out all of the red fabrics that I have and all of the orange fabrics that I've had, and definitely really excited about getting to use this fabric. You guys know I loved this fabric in her line and really hadn't got to use it until the last quilt block. I made sure to use it and now I'm getting to use it again. So I'm going to try and put it in there as much as I can. And then I am scrounging through all of my red fabrics to make sure I have enough of that, and just to get a good array of them. So let's jump into cutting those. Okay, everybody, so we have hit a bit of a snag in that I have had to stop and order more fabric. I do not have enough red fabric, so these are all of the blocks that I cut from the red fabric that I've got, and unfortunately that's the largest block that I can cut with the rest of the fabric I have. And so I've been able to complete a lot of the other smaller blocks that are required for this quilt, or for this quilt block, but I haven't been able to do the rest of them. So I was able to get all of my blocks for the orange colors, so I didn't need to order any of that. So we're kind of in a stuck position. Now, it's not too bad because I also needed to go ahead and order the backing for the quilt as well as the binding for the quilt. So I had to think about what I wanted to do with that. And I've got all of that ordered now along with some more red scrap bundle fabric. So hopefully when that comes, we can finish up this block. Now, all is not lost though, because there is quite a bit of assembly that needs to happen for this quilt. And so I'm going to work on assembling as much of that quilt as I can. And that way we can at least get something done with the Pas de Deux quilt today. So let's jump into some assembly rather than quilt blocks. Okay, so we've got a good bit of it together. Now, I'm doing this a little bit differently than what Rachel Hauser recommends because apparently that last block is really integral in a good bit of the final piecing of this quilt. But I'm trying to go ahead and do all of the pieces of the blocks that I can just do without that. And I'm having to unpick a portion right here. I am sewing my half square triangle blocks to my postage stamp block, and I sewed it, but I did not line everything up, and it's just too far off for me that I'm gonna have to unpick it. And then whenever I pin it, I'm just gonna make sure that I pay closer attention. There's just so many seams going all over the place that honestly I didn't even think about lining up the seams. So I'm gonna have to pay attention to that as I go through this, but let me show you why. Okay, so here is our block, and you can see this is what I have already unpicked, but coming up here, these really need to line up better than that. So like they're just off by a little bit too much, and I have to deal with this partial seam over here, which is a lot of fun. I had to unpick it a little bit so I could sew it together. So I'm just gonna have to line, because even that is not lined up properly. So we'll go back through, unpick all of this, and then I'm going to kind of line it up better. You know, I'm not going to stress over it being exactly perfect. Well, these turned out really nicely, but, you know, not every single time does that happen, although I did a pretty decent job on these. So I'm going to try and get it closer to this look rather than this look. So here we go. Okay, let's see how this turned out. This is like the weirdest shape because there's just like all these random pieces. Let me see. I'm gonna flip it over here. And we're gonna go ahead and press this seam. All right, so the next part here, now that we've done that, pulling that really open there. So next part is gonna be to carefully go through, and I gotta line this edge up. Okay, there we go. I've gotta line all of this edge up over here. I know it's really hard to see. Let me see here. All right, so we've got to line everything up to here and then do another partial seam down this line. So let's see if we can do that. Alright everybody, so that is this video complete. I've got pretty much the top half of the quilt completed and sewn together, and so I've just got to wait for that fabric to come in so that I can go ahead and cut the rest of the pieces that I need to finish up this last block. So the other thing I could show you would be this block, how it came together. So it goes on the bottom portion as well, but just to show you how I ended up with this one. And I really think that these bird blocks are probably going to be my favorite part of the whole quilt. There are a lot of components to this quilt and a lot of things to look at and really focus on, but I really just love these little bird blocks. I really kind of want to do some more of them. So I will go ahead and end it here. So next time that I see you guys, we should be finishing up the pas de deux quilt top, and sorry that we weren't able to finish it this time around, but unfortunately just ran out of that red fabric that I needed to go ahead and finish it. So as always, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video and have a wonderful day. If you have questions or comments, just leave them down below. Always happy to read those and respond to them. It really is something that I look forward to checking on every day for the videos. And this is the Pas de Deux quilt by Rachel Hauser. That is linked down below if you're interested in looking at getting the design for this quilt. And all of the fabrics that I have used have been laundry basket fabrics. So we'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day.